Hey, Merry Meet and Blessed Be. How are you today? Today is Friday, and I am doing a reading, just a generalization to see what is happening. There is a lot of pollen in the air right now, so it's really triggering my allergies. So I apologize about that. I shuffled beforehand and pulled a card. I'm just kind of doing a general reading for the day of Friday. This is a day dedicated to Freya and any of the love goddesses of also goddesses of magic, beauty, anything associated with the planet Venus, including the goddess Aphrodite, which I have all of my Olympian deity figurines, which I enjoy. My candle that I'm burning is violet. It actually is a scent of violets. And I have rose quartz and a aura crystal of that is a pink auric crystal, and I can't remember the name of what the pink one means. I don't remember. So the goddess that I pulled beforehand, which I'm hoping to do is a short where I can do like a goddess or even a god uh, deity card daily if I can. Well, I'll do my best. Um, but I pulled Danu, and I know that this is more of a feminine goddess day. For those of you that are follow the Christian tradition, is Good Friday. That is the beginning for the Easter weekend. I do have a God deck as well that I would probably do like on a Tuesday because that is ruled by the god of God Aries, and it's a very masculine day, whereas this is a very feminine energy day. All right, so Danu is a Celtic goddess, and she represents assurance that she is an earth goddess who also is a goddess of magic. And her message really goes along with what we had yesterday, which is what is being hidden. What is that message that we cannot see right now? And from this particular meditating on this particular card, I was getting that where you have sown your seeds into the ground and you're not seeing any progress yet. That's because the seeds are germinating under the ground. So, whatever it is that you are dreaming about, and the message that came with the card from the book from it says Field of Dreams. You're creating your field of dreams, and you cannot see what is going on with those seeds that you're planted, but given time, they will start to emerge. Um, just like we are seeing the return of spring now with the green. I love looking out and seeing green leaves on the trees, flowers that are emerging. Same with whatever you have going on in your life that you're working towards. The number that is assigned to this card is a 10, which is the beginning of a new path, a new beginning of something. It's like 10 concludes, 1 starts again, and it's kind of both where it kind of goes into the cycle, which has that um, infinity symbol that looks like a figure 8. I'm going to do the reading today with Terra Mucha, which is a Art Deco kind of deck. Um, I love the artwork on it and how feminine it feels. I get one card flipped over already, which is the Knight of Cups, who is our loving poet archetype. So we'll just go through, and these are kind of hard to shuffle because they're kind of slippery. And they're a little bigger, and they're not very easily they're not a very good deck for shuffling, let's put it that way. But I do enjoy the artwork of it. This is one of the ones that I kind of got just for reading for myself for guidance that I'm sharing with you. I don't I don't think I've taken this deck with me when I used to read at a store, at a local metaphysical store. Uh-oh, one fell. Let's see what it says. One moment. Ugh. Interesting. It's a 3 of hearts. Or the 3 of swords, I mean. 3 of swords. Somebody's dealing with some heartbreak, heartache. Three of Swords means sorrow. It can cause depression, that heartache, heartbreak kind of thing. And it also can indicate, if you're doing like a health reading, it could indicate a problem with the heart. That's what that particular card represents. It comes up a lot when you do breakups. So if anybody's going through a breakup right now, I'm really sorry. Or if you're experiencing a loss, you have my deepest sympathies and condolences for whatever it is that you might be going through and experiencing right now. That is a message specific to somebody because it fell out onto the floor. So when that happens, that usually means it's kind of there's a special message out there for somebody. Okay. From whomever is watching. All right, let's see here. I know I'm a little more informal today. It is the afternoon. I'm enjoying this so much. So I'm doing this just before going out and working in my garden. Doing some work inside, outside. I'm trying to decide if I want to socialize this weekend. I have several invitations, but I don't know if I want to, if I just want to stay home with the fur babies. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, definitely a heartbreak and a sorrow. Because here's a 5 of Cups, the loss of something. That's more than one sorrow. I didn't even shuffle that in with it. I'm just kind of picking up on things. Interesting. Are you watching this if you watch them in chronological order, like what I did a reading for yesterday over to today, it's really interesting because the Danu card talks about like the 7 of Pentacles. And last night, I was talking about the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords again. So, yeah, there's that new beginning and such. Maybe you're having to cut away things. The Sword of Truth is, the Ace of Swords is a revealer of truth. It cuts away from the BS of somebody who is being deceptive or lying and revealing to you what is being hidden. Isn't that interesting, right? So what does it have to deal with? If it doesn't have to deal with you on a personal level, it could be dealing with things on a more wider scale, the community, the global, as a global thing, that there are some truths about to shine some light that are going to come out that we didn't know about, or we kind of hinted at, but we didn't know the extent of the depth of it, is a way to interpret that. Here is the Empress, very goddess energy and ruled by Venus, which is today of a Friday, is ruled by Venus. Also the Earth Mother. Interesting, goes along with the Danu card, as well as Aphrodite and Venus. And yesterday we had a definite message from the Divine Feminine. So we have, this is about mothers. This is the foundation that's standing on. So I'm really feeling like this really has to deal with world events, current events that are going on right now. Very much so, in a way. So 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords is, I've always seen it as a protective card. Okay, it's internal work into it's looking within, going to find where your values are, and not allowing anything to distract you. So see, she has the blindfold on. It's not allowing anything to distract you. So you're focusing inward, and in focusing inward, you're protecting yourself with your swords, right over left, protecting your swords. You're protecting what is inside of you, which represents your values, your ethics, your morals, what is important to you, where you're feeling maybe an external opposition, and you're not going to listen to that. You're going to listen to yourself. So you're going to go inside yourself and protect yourself from the inside. And that's the way I've always read this card, that it's more about that, rather than feeling conflicted with 2 possible ways to go, which it is a possibility, but a lot of times I find that conflict where this card is concerned, even though it's about going within, it's coming from outside of us, um, pressure, peer pressure, or pressure from your family, pressure from society, that goes against what you really believe, and being told that what you believe is wrong in some way. So I would see this as really just listening to yourself and being true to yourself is how I would see that card. This is I think this is supposed to be the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the Knight of Wands. It's a different type of Knight of Wands. The knight, all the knights are movement. It's a forward movement. How fast are they moving forward? The Knight of Swords is sorry, the wind just all of a sudden picked up and it was throwing like dirt against my window, and I'm on the second floor. All of my cats are looking out too. I got all of them looking outside. It's just like all this gust of wind just came up all of a sudden like that. And it was like throwing gravel at my window. Anyways, so the Knight of Wands is fast moving, and the Knight of Swords is also very fast moving, whereas the Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving progress. You get all the knights, that means you're definitely moving forward. There's travel involved. But the Knight of Wands, he has a mission. He's on a mission. He is riding in. But this particular card here really makes me feel like it's almost like a page, where it's more like there's a message incoming. I kind of feel like he does. You're like, what is this message coming in? What is it that I'm having to give? Are you delivering it? But he has to be the knight because it's got the little like helmet up here at the top, so he has to be the knight. But it really feels like a page, which would be a message. So we'll continue on. Hierophant. Once more, 3 days in a row, we have gotten the Hierophant. That spiritual progression. It also represents exoteric. There's esoteric and exoteric religion. It's a spirituality that is based in tradition, that is about going to church and working with church. I'm almost going to say that this might be that on Sunday, with Easter Sunday and people being in church, something significant will happen that is going to be a catalyst for, because of this fiery energy that is there, that's going to be some kind of catalyst for evolution, either within individuals or collectively. So I'm kind of looking at it like that, because that's 3 days in a row. That is a message 3 days in a row now of the Hierophant that reveals the mysteries. A lot of times, if you go with the advice is to follow some type of tradition in a certain way, because it's more of the exoteric versus the esoteric. If it comes up reversed, then it would be esoteric. But you can choose it however you wish to. We got the Magician. I don't remember if we had it 3 days. I know we've had it 2 days now of the Magician, which is creating your, it's as above so below. It's creating your own reality. It's learning how to use the elements in magic that you need, the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And we teach that the earth elements are earth, air, fire, and water have to do within yourself. So there's a chant that we will often do, and I do this almost every day, of earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, body my fire my spirit. And you do the chant through that to align the 4 elements within yourself. And we are the 4 elements. We are magic. We create things on our own. It's just learning how to. The Magician needs to know how he is to do this. And I don't know if they have the white lilies and the red roses. It does, which also the Hierophant has, which I mentioned last night about the white lily of purity, being pure of heart and soul and mind, and combining that with the passion of the red rose. And that's what you use to bring manifestations into your life. It's learning how to do it. The Fool. There we go. Starting the new path. Beautiful Fool card, isn't it? I know it's got a little bit of shine to it, but it is a very beautiful one. Her little dog is a bit bigger than most of the other doggies they have. And then in the witch deck that I did last night, the dog, it would be a cat instead of a dog. I was wondering when this card was going to show up with all the theme of the energies. The Moon. The moon means there's something we cannot see. It doesn't, what we think we see is not there. Everything's kind of in shadow. It's kind of not real. It hasn't manifest. It doesn't look that it represents secrets. It represents things that are hidden where we can't see it. Moon is also associated with intuition. We can feel it, but we can't see it. We can feel it, but we can't prove it. Not yet. Now, if the High Priestess comes up, then we're really getting going with this kind of, message reading that we have going on here. Six of Pentacles. This has come up before as well. This is being the person giving out to those who need it. So if you're the generous type of person, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, but also sharing and helping others, and not having your good nature, your generosity being taken advantage of. Who actually needs it? Now, this particular card looks like somebody who really resents me. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look like he's giving that out joyfully. He looks like he's giving it out resentfully. Like he doesn't want to share his resources. And how the people are on their knees and having to beg for it. We're not here. We're here to take care of each other. We're here to help each other. If you know the story in the Bible about Matthew being the tax collector, it also makes me think of the story in the Bible when Jesus goes into Jerusalem and he finds the money changers using the temple, and he loses his temper and overturns all the tables. Some people have used that particular story of what's happening now, that we have people taking advantage of others, especially the poor, in the name of the religion of Christ. So they're using Jesus' name to gain wealth, and then they're hoarding the wealth without sharing it, even though they promised that they would share the wealth with them, and they're not. And then our last one is the King of Pentacles. You know who the King of Pentacles is? The King of Pentacles is a wealthy businessman. And he's all about money, the dark side of him. There is a good side to him, the positive side or the light side of the King of Pentacles is connected to the earth, and he's very generous, and he shares his bounty, and he takes care of things because he's a very nurturing, representing the sign of Taurus. Or is they using it out of the dark energy of it? What do you think? I'd love to hear what you think. Please share your comments if you would. All right, I did the Goddess Tarot, and then I knew I wanted to do this, but I don't have anything set up for a Oracle to continue on with it for some reason, which is interesting. I don't know why I did that. Let me look around for a second and see if other cards call out to me, and if they do not, then I will probably leave it there. Is there anything that wants to talk to me? There is definitely a deck that wants to come out, but it's not going to be part of this reading. Most definitely not. Okay, I think I'm going to grab my Crystallary. I think I can pause this while I grab it. Just a moment. All right. The Crystallary Oracle cards. This will represent the gemstone that it would recommend And crystals always make me think of the earth goddess. Messages from the earth, from Gaia, which has a connection to we've been kind of, Danu being the earth goddess. And I'm kind of looking over at Aphrodite, and I'm thinking about the connection of the earth and water, because she comes from the out of the water, from the ocean, and how those are used to form crystals. Crystals are formed with the minerals that combines that of the minerals of the earth with usually a water source. Like the stalagmites and such in caverns, or quartz crystals. Each different stone is created a different way, and it's really interesting. I lost my ability to do science or to comprehend science at some point in my life, which is odd because I was really all into science. I really wanted to be a scientist. And I studied biological sciences, which I was good at. I was not good at the physics or the chemistry. So, and I never really took geology or anything. I took a lot of biology, zoology, medical type things because I failed chemistry. That's why I didn't get to go to med school. It was very disappointing when I worked so hard for it. And then I realized that my mother was right, that I was actually better in the arts. So, let's see, come on. Give us a message, dear goddess. Give us a message. What do you have to tell us today? What is a good message of the crystal? Give us a crystal message. There we go. Sodalite. Come to calm. There you go. Have any sodalite? Can work with sodalite. There is a deck. This reminds me. There's a deck I'd like to get that is about crystal grids and using them. I actually found it online with one of the apps, and I learned about stones that I used as a crystal grid that were actually very helpful. Stones I had never heard before. The one I kept getting was dolomite, and I get a lot of communicating with the Akashic in ancient times, which is why I have the name Arcana. All right, Arcana, depends on how you wish to pronounce it. Anyway, I hope that gives you some guidance for today. Thank you for being here. I really enjoy speaking with you. I don't know who is watching, who isn't, but I'm just going to assume that you are listening, or somebody is going to come around and meet, and then this will help them in some way. And I always have a really hard time ending things. I'm very much known for my long goodbyes. And I think part of my lesson here is learning to let go. So, anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy the beautiful weather. We're supposed to have like 80 something degrees weather this weekend, which is why I'm not sure if I'm going to go and socialize or if I'm just going to stay home and enjoy the weather. I'm going to do some gardening, and I will talk to you later on and try to do the shorts. Thank you so much. Merry part until merry meet again. Blessed be.